We all want more out of life in some way or another, but is that the solution or the problem itself? And we all feel that pull towards something, but the real question isn't what we want, but why. Let's talk about it. At its root, more means desire, and a desire means one of two things. It's either a way out of where you currently are, or a way to distract you from where you currently are. The drive that we use to move us towards our goals in life can be like a mountain we climb towards success, or something that keeps us locked into a treadmill with no off switch. Distractions can keep us numb and oblivious to things we can do to improve our situation. They can occupy all of our time, attention, and energy, and keep us from paying attention to things we actually should be paying attention to. They can seem easy, like an everyday hobby or something that's part of your routine, or they can seem like a massive effort that requires a ton of your mental energy. Same hunger, different meals, different outcomes. And when it comes to our desires, it's easy to understand them through their contexts. Are they from restlessness or boredom, status chasing or social pressure, comparison or escapism from discomfort, or avoiding the truth altogether? Does it bring about feelings of things like anxiety, shame, or loneliness? Is it from a lack of gratitude, a disassociation, or just simply not living in the moment? Or is it out of genuine self-improvement and trying to create a better life for yourself? In case you couldn't tell, one of these things is not like the others. Understanding why you have the desires you do can be the first step you take on the path of making life more meaningful, rather than constantly shoveling all of your efforts into the abyss. If you want life to be peaceful, it can't happen while you have an endless, aimless avoidance and misguided pursuits. That's like being on a boat and not steering it. The waves and wind are just going to push you in whichever direction, and you end up wherever they take you. You have to be the one who navigates life. If you want a fulfilling, peaceful life where you can sit on the summit of your own accomplishments rather than being locked into the treadmill of desire, there are some things that you'd have to do for yourself. Identify your motives. What's actually driving you towards more? And once you get that, can you actually feel the satisfaction from it, or is it just wanting more? If it's not for improvement, and once you get it, you can't seem to find the satisfaction from it, then it's probably time to recalibrate and rethink things. Because always chasing success is a desire in and of itself. And this is exactly what being on the treadmill is like. You chase success, you get it, but you have to keep chasing more success because you don't actually feel satisfied with what you have gotten. Doesn't mean what you're doing is bad or wrong, and you don't have to beat yourself up over it. You just have to recognize that you deserve better. And if you're always putting yourself down or feeling like you always have to pick yourself up, this can be a problem. Be willing to self-assess. In the society we live in, we're praised by our peers for what we produce, and we're applauded by the masses for giving them something to consume. Which means your boss isn't going to come to you and say, hey, that 80-hour work week you just put in, I can see that it's burning you out. And your partner's not going to come to you and say, hey, I see you're overwhelmed. Why don't you go relax? More often, we're going to have to do this for ourselves. You have to make that call, and you have to ultimately make the decision. And you can do this by simply stopping and reflecting. Am I doing this for me, or because of what other people will think? Is this really something I want, or is this just something I can get, so I'm going after it? If I keep doing this for 5 years, will it be worth it, or will I look back and feel like I wasted time? Is wanting more actually going to fix this, or is there something deeper I should be looking at? And perhaps one of the more difficult ones is, am I moving towards something fulfilling, or am I running away from something that's uncomfortable? Taking the time to actually stop and think and feel your way through the complexities of what's going on within you is the only way you're actually going to know, rather than just assume. Intuitively, you may already know, but it doesn't hurt to sit down, reflect, think about it, and sometimes even write it out if that helps you. Don't just think you know you know. Once you've identified motivations, find substitutions, and set parameters around them. For me, I used to follow a lot of women on Instagram, you know, the link in bio kinds. Now, I don't even have Instagram. I have no need for it. Don't care. I looked at my relationship to the app, what I was consuming, why I was consuming it, and I had to choose differently, right? I was lonely. I was distracting myself from more productive things I could be doing, and I had to stop and have this reflection and decide that this probably wasn't what I needed to be doing with my time. Over a few days, I unfollowed all of those accounts. I went through my entire list of people that I followed, and everything that kind of resembled or looked like that, I just unfollowed it and got rid of it. And then I replaced that with stuff that I found more beneficial. Art, history, philosophy, psychology, whatever I could do to put things into my mind that would actually serve me for the better, rather than distract my attention from things that I could be doing. I had the same problem with video games, right? I had the gambler's mindset of like, I can't quit on a loss, one more game, but I had to put parameters on it. I had to eventually wean myself off of that because it became non-productive, and I would sit there endlessly in a team-based game, losing match after match after match, being like, oh no, I need to quit the night on a high note. I have to get a win. And sometimes that win never came, and it would be 2 a.m. and I'd still be sitting there losing. I had to put parameters around it. I had to tell myself, you can play 3 games and that's it. After that, no matter what happens, win, lose, whatever, close it down, do something else. Nowadays, I hardly even play video games. Not that I don't like them or enjoy them anymore, but they just don't appeal to me as a good placement of my time. And when I did quit playing them, I actually found more time for productive stuff. I read books, went to bed at a reasonable hour, which is like a huge game changer for life. Going to bed earlier means I could wake up earlier, and then I could do productive stuff in the morning before going to work. And then while I was at work, I found I could focus better on work because my mind wasn't constantly focused on getting home to log on and play games. And that year alone, I started working out, I wrote a book, and I made music. And this is an insight from this, is that purpose and peace expand our sense of being. They kind of fill up life and give us this overwhelming sense that everything we're doing is for something greater. It brings us a sense of clarity. And then when we consume, and often consuming stuff that doesn't do that, it kind of shrinks our sense of being and makes us feel as though we're smaller. And this can lead us to that treadmill that I was talking about, where because we have shrunken ourselves down in a psychological or spiritual way, we feel smaller, and then we need to do something that momentarily helps us feel good again, and often it's not that fulfilling. We keep expanding and compressing over and over and over again, and nothing ever actually feels good in the long term. Consuming more for the wrong reasons has this cyclical effect where we need to consume to feel good, and then we get an emotional high from that, and then when we come down we don't feel good, so we need to consume more to get that emotional high, and then this repeats over and over and over again. This doesn't require that you hate your life or your current situation. It just requires that you take some time, stop and think about the way you're living, and identify whether or not this is how you actually want to live. Do you find the life that you're living fulfilling? Or are you just distracting yourself from your actual potential? Sure, there's going to be some amount of sadness in letting go and getting rid of the things that are holding you back. And it may be difficult at first, but on the other side of it, there's a fullness of freedom that you gain from getting rid of those things. And when you do that, you make room for things that are much more important and actually give you a sense of meaning and purpose to life. If you want more as an escape, then you're running. And I have bad news for you. You're never going to outrun yourself, because wherever you go, there you are. And in that situation, you don't need more. You need honesty, and you need repair, and you need good, clear direction on where you're going in life. If you want more to escape, you're running. But if you want more to build, to create, to grow, then you're doing something fulfilling. If you want more because it's your calling, then it takes discipline and patience. Give yourself some grace. It takes time for that garden to grow. So jump in. Go into the abyss and see what you've been feeding. Are you on the treadmill, or are you climbing the summit of success? I hope you're headed to the summit, and I hope you get all of the joy and fulfillment once you're there. Until next time, always stay up to no good.